Well, we're here with another episode of Tell Me a Story, and I've got two very dynamic people with me. To my left is Joshua. So, Joshua, tell us something about yourself.
My name is Joshua. I'm from Moscow. My hobbies is to play football.
Great, and we've got Chandra.
My name is Enchant and I'm from Karantavan and I love fashion designing.
Two very, very dynamic people, and this is going to be an interesting one. So, what do we have as materials today, Joshua, to go ahead and build our craft?
We have chart paper,
Okay.
paper clips, tape, glue, pair of scissors, ruler, and tape.
Whoa. So, I have a question for you. Who is a good friend?
Good friend, Shanam.
Shana, who's your good friend?
Ziana.
Ziana. And why are they your good friends?
Like he helps me when I have incomplete books and all.
Okay, so he helps you with your studies and your incomplete books. And Ziana?
She makes me feel comfortable with playing with people.
Oh, that's nice. So we've got someone who makes you feel comfortable. Today we're going to be doing a story. And these stories in the Bible are called parables because they're stories with messages. The first of the parables that we're doing. And it's something that we've all heard about the Good Samaritan. Right? Have you heard the Good Samaritan story? Yes. So how do you think you can be a Good Samaritan?
Maybe if we help others when they don't really need help.
Very good. Or they need help. And
And they are hurt.
to make them feel comfortable and cared for. So do you realize you exactly said what he described for a friend and you said what she described as a friend. So being a good Samaritan in the 2018th year or in the 20th century means being a good friend. So we're going to get equipped with a craft to help us be a good friend. Does that make sense? Okay. So we're going to take a sheet of chart paper. You can take any size. We've got an A5 size here. Rather. I want you to fold the chart into half, something like so. So you take one edge, you take the other edge, and you, like that. So you get a rectangle, a big rectangle. Once you've got the rectangle, we fold it into another half. So you have something to this effect. Correct? It's a very, very simple craft. You all will like it a lot. Okay. Now you have the second crease that you made. This line is called a crease. We're going to take a pair of scissors and cut through that crease like so. So you're going to have two lengthy sheets like this. Go ahead, Joshua. Very nice. One, and that's two. Yay! There you go. Okay. So you got two? Perfect. We're going to keep one side of it away for now, and we're going to work only on the second. You're going to take your piece of paper. Let viewers also see it, okay? And you're going to make a fold on one side and a fold on the other side. Just about 2 centimeters of a fold is okay. So you're going to have 2 bends on both sides. Very nice. Great. we're going to cut this bit here. You can do it with your fingers actually because it's already creased up. You just put a small tear just till the crease. Can you see that? Just till the crease there. And then just till the crease there. So you get something that looks like this. Yay! Okay. We're going to put glue, any glue that you have, on the inside. So when you're holding the paper like this, you're going to put one straight line of glue here. And we're going to stick both the sides together. Like that. It's nice and sticky, 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 sticky. Go ahead. Very nice. One big, so you gotta press it as much as you can so it sticks very hard. You go there. Do that. I remember I had this teacher in nursery and she would do that all the time, and all the entire class would just follow her doing that. It was fun because we thought if we did that it's going to turn out perfect. It wasn't the case, but we just do that all the time. It really sticks well. To give it a little bit more of a sturdy hold, which you're going to need because you're going to be using these holes, you can take red tape or any bright colored tape and secure the edges. How to secure edges with tape is, you take the tape and you put it halfway on this side and halfway on the other. So you kind of do this. So the tape is halfway out. Can you see that? It's just out towards the edges. And you bend it. So you get this crease of tape on both ends. Okay. You can use this tape, you can use this tape. The thicker the tape, the more you'll be able to give it a kind of an edge so it stays strong. Go ahead. You want to use this tape and Joshua? So you use the tape, a big long one, very good. And you keep half the tape in and half the tape out. Very nice. Josh, you want to show the camera how it looks like when you do it? There. Very nice. Yeah, there you go. Sanjana, can you show them on both sides how it comes through? I'm also going to be using red. You're going to do it on both sides. So, half in and half out. Like that. So you can see this. It's there, the sticky end is sticking out. We fold it. And there you have. So you're going to get a nice pouch with edges. And Chandra's looks absolutely yellow because it's this transparent tape. It's no edges, but it's got the sturdiness. We're gonna keep these away now, and we're going to do the same thing with the next sheet of paper that we had cut, but this time it has to be bigger than the one we previously made. So this has to fit inside this. To make sure that that happens, you're going to take your second sheet of paper and we're going to make another pocket just like that. But this time, the pocket is going to be a little bit bigger. To make it a little bit bigger, we're going to take a smaller groove this time. Remember we took like 2 centimeters the last time? This time we're going to take about 1 centimeter or probably half a centimeter, not more than that, on both sides. So we're looking at half a centimeter or 1 centimeter on both sides. There we go. Go ahead, Josh and Chandra. We now are going to take a broader tape. We need broad tape for this. I'm using some transparent tape. And we do it similarly again. We stick it in such a way that half the tape is sticking out and half is sticking in, and then we fold it. In this fashion, our edges get very, very secure. There we go. So now we have one big and one small. If you take it and put it inside your bigger groove, it should fit something like so, like that. It should look like one big packet. This and this should be put invertedly. So the opening in this pocket needs to be put into the opening in that, like that. We're going to use our paper clip to decorate it. And what I want you to do with this is something that we do all the time. A paper clip looks like this, right? You just take both the edges and open them out, and you'll get something that is in the shape of a heart. And you can stick a couple of them. You can just make one or two. That is to remind you to be a good friend. A heart is kind of, we all know, a symbol of, affection and love. But here we're trying to say that being a friend and being a good friend or a good Samaritan is as important. Oh, nice. You just have to stick it onto one on each. 2, 4, 6, as many as you like. Yay! You do that. And Chandra's gone ahead and made it more creative. There you go. Any tape or glue, stick it on. Or if you don't like hearts, like some youngsters and teenagers claim to, they're like, no, we do not like hearts, and we don't like the idea of love. You can take some red tape, and I don't know if you've seen this, on a first aid kit you're going to see a cross, like a plus sign, which also is a sign that we say that doctors, when we think of the sign, you think about doctors and someone who kind of helps you, or a first aid box that's supposed to help you out. You can do whatever you like on your pockets to make them look personalized. You can write your name, and you can be creative. There you go. You can put anything inside it, from paper clips, so you can do that, and you have a pocket. What we're trying to make is called the Good Samaritan pouch. Imagine, in Chandra and Joshua, if you're going out to play, you play football, right? You're out there, and suddenly someone, say, falls down, like, happens in many, and gets a scratch, or there is blood, or, and you remove from your bag this Good Samaritan pouch that has inside it a band-aid, probably a little bit of antiseptic, and you help your friend. Don't you think that's what a good friend is supposed to do? Okay, and what if you are, with your friends, and you're designing, let's say, something, and you're working on a piece of cloth, and you have some paper clips and some safety pins in your bag that you are ready to help with. Doesn't that make us a better friend? So we're going to be calling this pouch a Good Samaritan pouch. You can keep some wigs inside it, or you can keep some band-aids inside it. Anything, an extra pencil, an eraser, some colors that you think that you can help a friend with. And Chandra, what are you going to put inside your Good Samaritan pouch?
Band-aid.
Band-aids and?
Maybe a few pens.
A few pens.
Maybe some cloth.
Some cloth. Perfect. What are you going to put inside yours?
Bandage.
Medicine. I think I'm also going to put some chocolates in there. So if I really like, someone's really down and kind of has a bad day, just give them a chocolate and we're like, oh, let's, share a chocolate or a toffee or something like that. Okay. So here we have our Good Samaritan pouches. Let's put some goodies inside them. Go ahead. And there you go. So whenever you need to, you can remove out what you need from it and help a friend. Well, now that our little Good Samaritan bags are ready, we're going to tell you the story.
This is one of the first parables we will be looking at. There are many other parables in the Bible, so if you want to hear more, ask your parents to read them to you. The next parable started with a man asking Jesus a question. The man who asked Jesus a question was very smart. Maybe he was trying to trick Jesus and see if he was a good teacher or not. This is what he asked.
Teacher, what should I do so I can go to heaven and live forever? Jesus replied, what is written in the Bible? What do you think? The man answered, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. That's right, Jesus said. Do this and you will live forever in heaven. But the man wanted to know more, so asked Jesus, and who is my neighbor? Jesus decided to answer this question with a parable to help everyone who was listening to understand.
There was once a Jewish man walking along the road. He was coming from Jerusalem and was heading to Jericho, which was a full day or two of walking. The road was rocky and there were small hills all around.
The man was just humming to himself and enjoying the nice day when suddenly a group of men jumped out from behind the hill. They took all his belongings and tore off most his clothes. They didn't want him to follow them, so they beat him up badly and left him lying and bleeding on the side of the road. A few minutes later, a priest was walking down the same path. He noticed the man lying on the side of the road. Do you know what he did? You think he would run over and help the man. Instead, he crossed the road and walked onto the other side and acted like he didn't see the man. About an hour or so later, another man called a Levite was walking down the road. Levites were known people who assisted priests with their work. He would probably help this man. But you know what he did? He slowed down, walked a little closer, took a closer look at the man, but then kept walking without helping him at all. You might be thinking that maybe the man lying by the side of the road looked like he was resting or something like that. And that is why the priest and the Levite didn't stop to help. The trouble is, it was easy to tell that he was badly hurt. The man was bleeding, and most of his clothes were torn, and he was bruised and hardly breathing. Just a few minutes later, another man came walking. He was a Samaritan.
One thing you should know about Samaritans is that the Jews didn't like them. Jews usually didn't treat Samaritans very well, so they never got along. The man who was dying on the road was a Jew. So what do you think the Samaritan did?
Well, you would think he'd walk by and maybe laugh at the man. But as soon as the Samaritan saw the man, he went over to him and felt compassion for him. He put bandages on his sores and poured oil and wine, which were quite expensive, on the sores to prevent them from getting worse. Then he lifted the man on his own donkey and took him to a hotel to take care of him.
In today's day, it is equal to taking care of a friend or a person that you don't like these two boys.
The next day, the Samaritan took out enough money so that he could stay at the hotel until he was well enough to leave. He paid the man at the hotel and asked him to take care of this man. If he wasn't better after about 2 months, the Samaritan would come back and pay for any extra cost. Wow. After Jesus finished this story, he asked, "Which of the 3 men do you think was a neighbor to the man who was left beaten on the side of the road? Come on, you tell me." Well, the man who asked the question at the beginning replied, "Of course, the one who had compassion and helped him." Jesus told him, "Go and do the same." Which also means that if we have compassion and help others and are caring and loving towards others, we are their neighbors and they are our neighbors.